Crowd control.
I guess. I guess.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
This is my first time doing this. Do you guys want me inside or outside the door?
Sit in the very back.
In the very back?
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi there. How you doing?
Oh, you know my sister?
Well, she was a senior when I was a freshman, so, but I know she was in band and
So she's in Florida. Florida, she's a music teacher down there.
oh, that's
Isn't that
no
great?
kidding.
She was always the trumpet,
Yeah,
saxophone,
yeah, she was
everything.
really great at it.
Yeah, and so she ended up going to Ithaca.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then music teacher. So neat, huh? I'm trying to think. Is that Mr. Rinaldi?
Yeah, Mr. Rinaldi and Gianfrido.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and she still talks to one of them.
Yeah, probably Mr. Gianfrido. He's on Facebook, he's around.
Yeah.
He's around. Well, did she ever get married?
Yeah, she got married.
Yeah.
This kid,
Not long ago.
it happens, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's from Chapman down there. Satellite Beach. So it's like Florida, you know, like where Cape Canaveral is and stuff, there's a strip.
Yes.
It's on that.
Yeah, she's lived there for a while? Wow. Good, that's great. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I was talking with Katie Payne Riker.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, and she was just like, I was like, because they're the same year. I think they're the same age, right? And I was just, well, she went to
Right.
like, this is senior when I was and, you know, she and Lori somebody, did our, like, you know, freshman initiation.
Good deal.
I had to kiss some boy in the bathroom. I was like,
Good talking to you.
you too, see you.
Call me that name now? Yeah, you. Want to call me that name now?
No, don't start anything. Shut up. Linda, just shut the hell up.
No.
Right?
No.
Yeah, listen. This is gonna be a... No, I'm not gonna... Shut up. Don't keep things going. Don't keep things going that way. There's a time to talk and there's a time to shut up.
Nobody listens when it's time to talk. I've had multiple meetings with people in power in this town and they've done nothing. So now it's legal time now.
Yeah.
It should be on it.
Yeah, should be all right.
You ready to get back into school?
I am. Yeah. I've taken a lot of time off, so it's nice.
Oh, good.
I don't take a lot of time off during the school year, so I saved it up for the summer, so it's been nice.
And what town did you come from?
Manchester.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did Lamson bring you?
No, I only worked with Jeff, gosh, maybe 5 years.
He's been here a while. So
Yeah, he's been here for over 10 years.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
gosh,
Maybe even,
he could be here 11 or 12 years.
yeah, might even be a little more.
Yeah, but I mean, I knew him, and we worked together.
Well, the circuit is small.
It
I
is.
mean,
Yeah.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah.
So, cool. And is this your second year? You're starting your second year?
I'll be starting my third. It'll be my 2-year anniversary on September 18th. I'll be going into my third year already.
crazy.
It's time flies by.
Yeah. Oh, because your first year you weren't in the schools.
I was not. No.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. I replaced Sean in the beginning of March.
That's right. I recall that. He was like half year, right?
He was there until the end of February, and then I took over for March, April,
And
May
he went back
on the road.
on the street.
Yeah.
Cool. And are you gonna go back? I mean, do you
Yeah.
want to?
I mean, those are the plans. I guess a lot depends on
Well, yeah.
budgetary constraints and all that stuff.
I mean, we did our best to not touch it.
Yeah.
That shouldn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
Unless something crazy happens, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be an issue.
I didn't think so. But yeah, I'll be as long as everything works out. I'll be back. Yeah,
And you liked it?
I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy the kids.
The
Yeah,
little kids are sweet.
they are very.
I mean, it's different, right? What Tommy
Yeah.
deals with and what Joe deals with is totally
Yeah,
different.
he's got his hands full with the 5th graders that are going into 6th grade.
Oh, did you let him know that?
Oh yeah, everyone. I think everybody knows it. So, are you enjoying your summer?
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Good.
I mean, this is less than to be desired, but that's
Yeah.
okay. I can't believe it's almost August.
I can't believe it
I was
either.
just talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, I've seen you once this whole summer. She's like, yeah, but it's just July. I'm like, July 22nd.
Yeah, it's almost over. July's getting close to the end.
You have another week, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So this is my first town hall meeting. I happen to be working tonight. I just got back. I was actually off for 10 days and showed up, and my sergeant said, guess what? So,
Yeah, I mean, they probably told you what you're making. Like,
yes,
Yeah.
I'm aware. And this one I heard shouldn't last too long. Yeah,
Probably not.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Well, I was told by Lexi. Oh, that was Grace made that noise.
I did it. What did I do?
Thank God.
I hear
It
it.
might be people's cell phones.
No, it's because
But I think it's cell phones.
what's cell phone?
Like, people's cell phones are moving too close to the to see.
Well, it's feedback is from one microphone being picked up by another. Well, I was told by Lexi that the people from the assessor's office went in, took the thing out, they went upstairs with the computer, he worked on it all, and it's perfect, so I came down to do it.
Oh, the cell
And then
phones.
after they said, well, no, you need to do it, Joe, it's all taken care of. I said, okay, Joe, you're giving me. Sorry to scare you. Stop.
Do you think it's?
I was there and I said, I was serious. I said, I have 8 years. I can't. I still have nightmares. It will. We started this one. Yeah. Because before that, it was settled, it didn't tell me, that's what. But it didn't. But it was the word that.
Recording in progress.
Jason Lathrop, 20 Bergen, Flanagan. Lucinda Van Diesel, moved by Roy Cobb, may or may not be there. Patty Murphy and Margaret, resolutions.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This was going to separate, that side was going to separate.
Public comment on board finance and our voting.
All right, Kevin Knapp, 6 West Street. So, I can read just like all you guys can, and our fearless attorney, Carl Landavina. So, in the charter, under section 407, there's wordage that says the first selectman should act when there's unethical behavior and conflicts of interest. So, based on that, all of you are conflicts of interest. Since February, I have been telling everybody at this town about the conflicts of interest, the audit, freedom of information requests, the budget, veterans not being given benefits and tax exemptions that they're supposed to include the elderly. So the reason why you guys wanted to push that 2-year phase-in is because you're going to owe millions of dollars to the veterans in this town, and you're going to have to settle millions of dollars worth of lawsuits for all the stuff that you guys have been doing. The minutes have not been posted since 6:30 in accordance with the guidelines that the state puts forth. During one of the historically toughest times in Windsor Locke's history, you guys are censoring information to the public. I am the person that emailed Chris Laternis and had him put that meeting on the last minute on the town meeting. So how was that fair and equal access last night? It was not. It's unethical, immoral, and diabolical that Lori and Lucinda and the powers that be are making our elderly and veterans suffer while the town has $22 million in the budget, in the savings. Diabolical. I am not done. I will not stop. And you guys should have read my disability stuff that you guys stole from the VA without my permission, a privacy law and HIPAA violation that says I am the most relentless, ruthless person on the planet. I will have zero sympathy or empathy for what I do civilly to you and your families, like you're doing to us.
Anybody else have any comments? Doug?
Douglas Equation, 67 cap. On the matters of the budget, I don't have all the figures as to what the budget is and how much it's changing or what. I just want to mention that I know that if it was last night, I was here last night and I had a different presentation, but tonight all I want to mention is that on your budget, most likely the amount of taxes is going to be higher than we like. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't have the figures, but I expect it will be. So what I'm suggesting is that if we consider taking from the savings, if you withdraw $500,000 from the savings and put it toward the operating budget, I know you don't like to do that, but you know, in times where it's tight, it's okay to do it. I don't think we'll be faulted for the responsibility for doing it. But I would suggest that withdrawing $500,000 from the savings would be appropriate, and that would leave the savings at a percentage of 20.5% of the budget, which is well above it. The average for all cities and towns in Connecticut is 13%. Their savings are 13% of their budget. So that brings us down to withdrawing $500,000 to put toward the operating expenses. Would then result in our savings being like 20.5%, which is pretty good. The average of all cities and towns in Connecticut has, say, a town savings of 13%. And with the $20 million to go to the operating budget, that's a little high, but your savings would reduce to 19.7% of the budget. So it's still way up there. So I think there's something from the savers to put the operating budget would not diminish the fiscal responsibility we have as a town. That's my suggestion. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Right, all anyone answers so you know yesterday we and I was called. We just have to stay the week to see the plan. Start for some reason last year, but it was more professional. We had leaders, you know, we could say like we see the plan. That's all I can say.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Connie Christensen, 3 Michelle Drive. You guys are going to be discussing the budget that we're going to put forward for the 2019 goal. So I wanted to advocate for the school district as a consideration for any of the restoring the approximately $815,000 that we were requested to cut. So just asking that you seriously consider putting that all over us ahead of special. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I had to shut my hearing aids off because I think it's because this thing. I'm going to get the board for their time and their here, spent a long haul here. We appreciate it. I would say that, you know, we made some good progress yesterday. And I still think that the people out there, we have people that are really financially challenged. And I'm hoping that you can get the number down just a little bit more. There's some reductions that can be made because I really think we need to look at like around 10%. 10% increase is what most people can handle. So we're going to do that. I also would say that with the employees here, the non-union employees, I definitely want to see them get some kind of increase. But I would just ask that you make it comparable to what the unions got or what the unions are going to get. Because when we go to negotiate, and I know the teachers are already done, but like public works will come up, different departments will come up, they're going to want 5%. They're all going to want 5%. And so we just need to be careful with that. And I was surprised to see the barn at Reed Park still in the budget. I thought we had removed all the capital items, but I know there's still a line there for capital items, and it's that exact same amount that was going to be used for the barn. And I think if we're going to spend over $100,000, and I know it has to be a capital improvement, but maybe there's an item that's in the budget that could be considered a capital improvement, and we can use that. But I'll leave it up to you to find or to make questions. I'm taking your time.
Anyone?
21 Lafayette Street. I'm here representing the Windsor Fire Department. I've been sitting in most of these meetings, and I just want to say something to my fellow citizens, that we got to be careful how we go about trying to cut the budget and what we're really trying to do. We got to take into consideration that if we do it blindly or we just cut just for the sake of cutting, it's going to have a major effect. And I'm talking in regards to public safety. I'll give you an example. Today, we did a mutual aid to Suffield, we lost someone. And, you know, I hate to see that happen in our town, but it's very possible. So I just want you to maintain the consideration of the line item, put that extra guy on the truck, and I appreciate your time and support. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anybody else? No one raising their hand out there, right? Correspondence? I don't have any. I had it, I forwarded. The minutes of the, they're coming out. He asked me if I wanted us to send them out tonight, just before the meeting. I thought we would act out anyway, so I sent them out next time. Any added agenda items? Okay, review, discuss, recommend pass. Basin was voted in for 2 years, and we're gonna move on. So who wants to start?
Can we see what the numbers look like on where we stand right now with the recommendations from John and Peter about what we should have for the numbers that we would do in the phase-in? I'd like to see where we are at a percentage with the phase-in and what we currently have, and then talk about either adding things back in or other cuts that need to be made or whatever. But I want to see where we're starting with, with the 2-year phase-in. I'd like to see what the bottom line would be with that phase-in. Yeah.
And John Green sent out an email about serve. Are we going to discuss that?
I think it's all part of these figures, right?
Yeah, so why don't we, if we could start on revenue, if that's okay. The one item that John asked me to try to address to share with you was where our supplemental motor vehicle budget stands. From a revenue standpoint, that's $1.5 million. We have a lot of good information, and we wanted to share that with you. Here's there are the totals here. He anticipates motor vehicle to be about $66 million for supplemental acquisitions of either cars. And taking a look at mill rates, this was the lowest mill rate that you guys voted on a budget that went there. This was, I think, the first one. And this is an approximate, not an exact, approximate. So from a revenue standpoint, if he estimates this for July, August, September, again, July's not done yet, it's going to be $66 million in revenue. That's $66.5 million in assessments, $500,000 in he has collection, total amount from a collection standpoint, $66 million. Again, depending on the mill rate, what gets decided to determine where this revenue line will be. It's sort of an iterative calculation, but he is, I will share with you soon thereafter that 2456 is right about $61.8 million budget. So that would be the highest. If you bring that budget down, that would bring this mill rate down. Therefore, that 1.620 would drop each time. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
So for those following along, just to repeat, this was the 23 motor vehicle changes or adjustments. This is the new year. We anticipate. Better? So John anticipates $66 million in supplemental motor vehicle assessments. Better 500,000 from a collection standpoint. Or an adjustment that occurs here that he is not anticipating. This doesn't drop the tax collection, this drops the assessment. So that brings it down to 66 million in assessed value for vehicles. And then again, at these mill rates, with the 2-year phase in the 2456 is more, it's closer, again, without an exact number. It's closer, so that's about 162, roughly. Right? So let me just show you that calculation. I'll share this calculation here. So this is what was discussed on Friday night when we tried talking about revenues, and both John and Peter talked about they wanted to know the results of the phasing before they could make their bigger. So in order to address John's question was, he gave us a mill rate of 24.56 for the estimate, and the assessed value of motor vehicle was about 66. In order to get to that number, this is, you guys still have to vote to do all this fun stuff, but if you voted on the exact budget that was presented the first time, I'm not recommending it, just for calculation purposes, at the 51,877. If we assume that the non-tax revenue was 18.9 million, and again, that's a second assumption. If Peter collected at 99%, and this is, I would say, John's provided us these figures, if you phase in over 2 years, instead of being a $2.09 billion grand list, it's a $1.8 billion grand list. You still have adjustments of 3.25%. You would subtract out the TIF district, so you'd have 1.7 billion of assessed value. And to match the tax, the total budget less the non-tax revenue adjusted by the collection rate, would be a collectible amount of 43 million. And at that collection rate, that's a 24.58.
Jason, can you go back up to the subtotal cash requirement is 42.9? If the collection rate's 99% of that, shouldn't it be less than 42.9, not higher?
This is all Peter collects.
Okay, he collects it at a 99%, so you're saying it's 43.3, 99% of that's 42. Going up, not that, okay.
So basically, Jason, that takes it back to the beginning. If we went back to the original budget.
Correct.
And said, okay, with the phase-in, here's our starting point of the 24, yeah, just the middle. And then we, down the bottom, do you have the calculations down on the bottoms?
Yep.
And what that would look.
This is the most common change values that
Yep.
was 150, went to 252, and then if you have that change, it would be a 24 mill rate instead of 29.55 going to 38. would go to 34, so the increase would be $503. So 860, that's a 17% tax increase.
With all the services and needs that were asked for.
And that's an increase per month of 41.
That's in your, that's in
Again, this is over 50% of the properties residential. You know, commercial, same sort of thing, but it goes the other direction. It used to be they had about an 8% tax decrease, 8 change, and that their tax decrease slows. So that's moving, that's slowing the rate of change, so that's moving the burden back to the commercial, at least for a year. Not entirely, but it's slowing the rate of change. So that's a starting point for Dick. So if we switch back to the revenue line items, here, talk about revenue. Okay, and this was our last sheet, our current year tax is a little higher than this. But just for the items that we were discussing,
They're in the tune of $4,000. Mine is more than that.
so the things that we were discussing here were prior year tax, where we had reduced this down at 2 votes ago. This was what John was trying to point out with the phase-in. He didn't know what this would stay at 1.5. He's forecasting that a little bit higher at 1.62. You may choose to increase that or not. We also talked about investment income. This was $750, and then I advised you to reduce this down to $650,000. The revenue items from the base original budget that we changed were $25,000 for operating transfers in the highway, a $3,000 increase in the bus tax. So if I want to stop that revenue line. Again, this is So from an expense standpoint, as we adjust the expense, it will be changing this million count. So as you change, like that budget goes, my assumption would be going down from this, right? It could go up, right? But generally, we typically go down from this. That will, of course, change the million calculation because there's iterations that could occur. The one thing I wanted to point out was that 24.58. The one thing I pointed out a couple of times was that our TIP budget might change when we change the values of the properties associated with our TIP district. When we change what their budget was. Right? And our an assumption standpoint, if we use the 24.58. Change in the budget for Terry Fernandez. This times this. So it would be 24.58 times the 1.7 billion in value. That's budget would be 478 in the TIF district instead of 505 where it's right there. Now, whether you want to monkey with that $20,000 as you go through that, but that's an adjustment in the wrong direction. That's an up, not a down. So I think, I think the question would come is from a collection standpoint, are we sticking at 99% or are we adjusting that at all? And that would be a question for Peter, I believe. I think John's question was answered in relation to, he provided us the detail that if it's around 24.5, this is what the revenue would be. So you know where his estimate is, and you guys can decide where you want to be from a revenue standpoint. You want to stick to 1.5, you want to be at 1.55, you want to be at 1.60, you want to be at 1.62, whatever you guys want to be, you can get it right.
Let's just back up. On the supplemental taxes, John is estimating at a 24 and change mill rate that the supplemental tax bills that hit the street will be 1.6 million. Why would we ever put 1.6 million in the budget? In other words, isn't that setting the tax collector up for failure? We know that the tax collector is not going to collect 100%. It's not a knock on our collector. It's just the way the supplemental bills work. They're car taxes. It's difficult to get 100%. So I would think if the mill rate stays at 24 and change, I don't think it will, but if it does, I would never advocate to put 1.6 million. I would advocate to keep it at 1.5 and or run some numbers based on a collection rate and bring it down. I need to bring it up because directionally it sounds like some want to go up, I want to go down. Maybe we leave it at 1.5 for now. But I would not advocate, unless I'm misunderstanding something, to go up from 1.5 million based on these numbers. There's no way.
Well, we're using a 99% on the house, why won't we use 99% here?
Wait a minute. I don't believe the collection rate is 99%. I think Peter's here, you can talk to that. But
That's what we just showed the
the
numbers.
supplemental taxes are not part of the mill rate calculation, it's just a revenue. You can put it at, there's some latitude.
Who's here, let's ask him.
Go ahead.
Peter?
I'm just curious
Bring him
now.
up. We'll start, you want to start?
So would you be, if the mill rate stays at 24, right, and John, our assessor is saying that would yield bills of 1.6 million on the street, would you be comfortable as a collector putting $1.6 million of supplemental taxes into our fiscal year 26 budget? Just a simple yes or no.
So 100% collection?
Yep.
No.
What would you put for a percentage of? 99% collection.
Isn't the budget 1.5?
Right now, it's 1.5, yes. And I think what my colleagues are getting at is, when it comes to the bills that are sent on July 1st, whether it's a motor vehicle, real estate, or personal property, the assumption right now is we use the assumption in the fiscal year 26 budget is that we use a 99% collection rate. But I want to talk about supplemental taxes first. Is there a general collection percentage, I'm thinking something under 80%, that your office is used to, for lack of a better term? Is it 99%? Is it 95%? Is it 90%?
For supplementals, I wouldn't have a problem with 99.
Okay.
That goes to 1.6 million.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So let's talk,
99% collection rate on supplemental taxes. Okay. Excellent.
I understand a lot of that is going to be, sort of the rental car companies. Those come in, and they're usually billed out a lot in the supplemental. They make up a big part of it's gonna be standard, there's not gonna be any change to that process this year. So in other words, we always bill out in January, and unless we're still in the process here in January, then it'll be normal, it'll be billed out in January or December.
So I guess the second question would come here, we're a little late getting out of the gate from a collection standpoint. Currently this year on current year taxes, you now know that we have a vote that it's a split, 2-year phase-in. Does that affect our original estimate of 99% from a collection standpoint?
I guess the question's gonna be, how low are you gonna go?
Lowest of what? What do you mean low?
Well, right now, you're at 17%, but it sounds like you haven't made up your mind on that stuff, right? So if you get down to 12 or 11%, I mean, I don't know, 17%, I mean, we don't, that's still a pretty big increase over last year, so. But if you, by the end of the night, if you cut it down to, say, 12 or 11, I mean, that's certainly more reasonable. Again, I mean, I just, being never been in a situation before where we're mailing out bills, probably at this point, late August, I mean, I would think at this point, even if it were to pass on the 29th, it's going to take a few weeks to phase in everything. So, I really don't have I mean, we want to back it down like a quarter point just to be cautious. I mean, 98.75, I mean, I don't know if that's bad. I mean, it's just being conservative, but I can't really tell you. I mean, I wouldn't do anything drastic. I mean, I think we just have to work to try to collect as much as we can.
And then the tax sale would be at 2026, right?
Right, it'll be in the spring.
And I heard this year that we may, for people that aren't paying their car taxes, we're going to put it up for the rest of us.
Correct.
I'm grabbing the deductions that we made last 7:15 meeting, or the 7:15 meeting. Here's what we hit last time. These So I guess we would start at what we cut last time. And we start adding to it, or we can add stuff back.
So after the first budget, we cut a lot, and there was more on this list. And then, when we went back to the fourth one, we put back in some of those and then just left these. So this was the remainder of what we initially.
Correct.
With the exception of the first item on that list.
That was the
So I know.
Okay.
I would recommend putting the DOE back where they were. My parents lived in this town, they paid their taxes to put me through school. It's our turn as seniors and taxpayers to put the next generation through school. That's how we see it, that's how it works. So I'm in favor of that being removed, everything else staying.
You know, we had the town meeting last night, and, you know, the 2-year phase-in that was approved, on a pretty close vote, right, 60-something, 40-something. I mean, that's progress. That's progress. But if we have, let's say, minimal cuts, you know, we still have a pretty large tax increase. It may not be 17% on average, but it's certainly going to be somewhere in the mid-teens. I mean, the fact that we now have the phase-in, some of those proposals and suggestions, but the fact is, we need hundreds of people to change their votes, like literally hundreds of people, if we want to pass the budget. And yes, there is an $815,000 reduction, or that's sort of on the table. But the reality is, if we can't get a budget passed, that $815,000, I believe, if we have to operate under the fiscal year 25 budget, that $815,000, I believe, is going to turn into like $2 million. In other words, even if we did cut the $815,000, I understand, it is a lot of money, right? But the Board of Education is still going to be receiving the fiscal year 26 budget. If we were to have this $815,000 reduction, they're still going to be receiving an additional $1.2 million. And I understand, salaries are up, and medical expenses are up, transportation is up, you know, et cetera, utilities, everything is up, I know. But to me, $1.2 million better than zero. Obviously, it's not as good as $2 million, but it's still something. And, you know, at 17% or 16%, I'm just not sure we have the individuals, and there are some out there that are looking for some type of cuts. I'm not talking about draconian cuts, but some type of cuts, whether it's Board of Education, the town side, the raises, et cetera, et cetera. To me, we have to go, in my opinion, we have to go back and show that not only do we do a phase-in, I know not everybody's happy with 2 years, so I'm not more, I get it. But we've got to show, to me, we have to show some type of cuts as well. There's got gotta be a talking point here, that we went from the average increase of 30%, and we pulled a couple of different levers. The phase-in lever, some expense cut levers, and then we certainly revisited the revenues. So, and they are the largest, by far, the largest department in our budget. So I would advocate that we keep that as a reduction, given where we are. Just keep in mind that in the first round of the budget, we all agreed, keep it in there. So, I mean, that vote is disaster. So we need to cut somewhere, in my opinion.
You guys can. Like, which one do you assume work on this? Either you or
Look, at this point, I think we should just have a consensus on it, whether it's in or out, I think it doesn't matter. We can talk about it, everything's on it, I don't really know to answer your question.
All right, so the reason I was asking is because I'm saying something, and I need to know respectfully, but we can find out whether it is consensus. Did everybody go through what they're going to do about the $850,000 stays in the Board of Education's budget or just us?
I would suggest, because the 17% tax increase that we're staring at now is too high, I think it's got to come out of the budget.
Yeah.
Not funded.
Unfortunately, for my guys, I don't think the budget's been passed because of the audit. It's sad.
Yeah, I support putting it back in. I think, for me, the main issue was phasing. It sounded, most of the folks I talked to were interested in phasing, more so than cuts. So I'd go with the original,
Right, so what are we looking at if we could take it?
All right, so.
It's already, isn't it already in here?
It's already, like, right now, we're too high. Whatever we pull out of that calculation is going to drop.
So in other words, none of these suggested reductions in column G are running through your ruler calculation right now.
Correct. That's the original, that's why we're trying to ask, that's the original budget. So these are all would be a reduction.
Whether it's 933 or 815, the difference between these two numbers, I don't think is really, it's not a needle mover in relation to the grant list. But if we were going back to those calculations on the rate sheet,
Just for the record, I know that the voters that we talked to, the majority of them, more than 50% of them suggested phasing that process. I can tell you from the first three voters, not the fourth, but when I was at the polls for about 4 hours at most of each of those first 3 times, there were far more people talking about cuts. So I just, again, in the spirit of trying to pass a budget, if you feel that strongly about the Board of Ed, okay, but can you come up with $1 million of cuts elsewhere so that we can at least drive the tax rate down? Because that is the issue. It's the taxes, right? I mean, a 4-year phasing, right? Now, 4-year phasing with a tax rate of 15%, it's not the tax. It's not the phasing, it's the tax rate that's the issue. That's what has to come out. I mean, the reality is, if you could get taxed, I know we can't, but if you could get a tax increase of 3% with no phasing, people would pass the budget. It's not about the phasing, it's about the tax rate. And that's what has to do. That's what's happening now.
So the reason that you started to get rid of half a million is that you love that for it.
Yeah, but how much of that's going to move the tax rate? So what does that do? That brings it down from 14.5% to 17%? I mean, it's progress. Right, and at 14% of the public still do that, right? But those are the type of things that we need to look for if we want to get this to pass. Because the reality, we can keep the tax rate high. We can do that. But it's just going to continue to get going down, and we're going to be back to fiscal year 25, and then the budgets are just going to be naturally low. And maybe that was your strategy.
No, I don't think you go to the same problem. You said the low rate that much, but we want.
We can't set that.
And they just went whatever budget they want, so why do you say you're going after 2025?
From a spending perspective, the mill rate takes care of the revenue side. But from a spending perspective, right now, I believe the town is operating at a fiscal year 25 budget level for the spending.
They're doing that because there's not a budget.
Okay.
Once the budget's in place, there's nothing to establish a budget, as long as it's going, we need to go.
It's something to establish the mill rate. But the town needs to establish the budget. I'm not trying to argue with you.
I said, okay, instead of
To
building.
me, you're making, I'm doing that to you personally. By keeping that tax rate high, if this doesn't pass, you're making it worse. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if we can't get a spending budget in place, the Board of Ed is going to be in serious trouble, I think, not just by $800,000 or $2 million.
Well, look, we did a VR with them this year, what's the question? So how are you saying that we're doing it?
Because,
We did a VR.
I mean, you know this one. Yeah, the operating budget is $34 million for both years. But on the town side, in fiscal year 25, we're holding $2.5 million. Okay, fiscal year 26, we're holding approximately $4.5 million. So that may be less than $200,000. But if we're going to operate in fiscal year 25, that's $34 million to $2.5 million. That's what they had in fiscal year 25.
You're not gonna have that in 2026.
Well, I mean, if we can get a budget that's got a reasonable tax increase, then they would have about 34 million in operations plus another 3 point whatever.
That's where I have my problem.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be as blunt as I can.
Yeah.
We beat this budget to hell.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of hours to get to a budget that was presentable.
Right.
Take out the property re-event.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
it's less than 3%.
Mark, I know.
So you keep on saying, we gotta reduce our spending.
Yeah.
But it's not the spending that caused the increase.
I understand that, but at this
But the way
point,
you're saying it, it sounds like the spending and what we approved is causing the mill rate increase. It is not.
Mark, I agree, but the reality is, we've had 4 budgets that have failed miserably. When you go back to budget 1, yes, we all figuratively held hands and said, let's push this forward. But the reality is, that wasn't good enough. And unlike last night's vote, which was relatively close, these votes have not been close. We need to turn hundreds of votes around. And last night, in my opinion, was a great start. I mean, we took a big chunk from 30% down to 17%. Not that anybody likes 17, but hopefully everybody likes 17 better than 30. So now we have to keep going. You know, I think if we can get it lower, we can convert, if we can reduce some spending, I do feel that we can convert some of those no votes to yes votes, because we could say, we have reduced spending. We'll never convert them all, never convert them all. But we need to convert hundreds of votes, hundreds.
So if we answer just 3,000 days to 17%.
It's 3.5. So now, so at this point, even if you just kept it there, you could say, you cut the tax rate in half, but by pulling multiple levers, the average. I'm not even saying that's necessarily great, but it's movement.
In fact, numbers like that equates to about $40,000 a month on the elevation. So again, if you look at layoffs, class sizes, $35 a month. That service is about how much. That was just.
This one was a 933. It was everything on that list. Everything on that list. And it's not still one spot. Yes.
Okay, I thought you changed it when you kind of said it. Oh, yeah.
Back to, the field services and settlement program. It was a budget that was there, for the old building.
This was zero.
Oh, okay.
This is probably not accurate, but something needs to be done here because they will be moving in, I want to say it's probably towards the end of July. So we're going to have, monthly change on these guys, but it's close enough for the purposes of the work.
It's less than a month, you plan on having it open.
Yeah, this took it down to zero.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
We'll have some expenses, just not.
But in the upcoming budget season, if we have senior citizen us paying for it until July 1st,
We had this money left over. This was the money we left in the repair and maintenance budget for senior center.
old one, I'm talking about the new one, when did we start in our expenses, start expending costs for the new one? Was it July?
Yeah, I want to say it was July, because the original, when we started the budget, they were trying to turn the building over to us right on July 1st. They haven't yet.
Some of these costs may be some.
But, this total amount that was in that budget is around $16,000, you divide that by 12, it's what, $1,500? I'm not worried about $1,500,
I just say
$60 million.
But 1,500 of it is some cost. Correct.
But,
So what about the old police station?
still being used.
When they move out?
So, we are and we're asking about the repairs and maintenance associated with the old police station. So this is the safety complex. We brought electricity down by $39,000 and cleaning supplies down by $1,500. You still have a person that's assigned there that's shared between multiple facilities. You still have some repair and maintenance costs. We zoom in on that a little bit. I'm just trying to get it as big as possible. So you're still, these are minimal water charges, not big water charges. Minimal sewer fee. I think you're still gonna heat the building. We backed away electricity knowing that, and the assumption is that the building's not gonna be 100% occupied, that just the upstairs is gonna be occupied. So you went from a maintenance budget of 170 down to 130.
So if we take that MBS number, pump it up to 1.6 million versus 1.5. Okay, we had that conversation, we elected to keep it at 1.5, but we know in reality it would be 1.6. Let's put the 1.6 number somehow, which gets us. I'm sure it's not a big deal more, but it's probably a 0.1 of a mil, 0.12 of a mil. And I know
Go back
that
to the mill, you want to go back to the mill rate calculation.
the one where the motor vehicle supplemental, put that in at 1.6, which is 99 or 98.5% success rate. That's no straws, I'm trying to find a regular guy. No, I didn't think it would, I mean, it just doesn't work. We were at a tie, 3-3 on the board. Trying to move that, how about we go to 400,000? Take an 800, maybe 800 back, let's split it. We'll give them 400 back. So are we willing to cut in other places? In other words, are we going to visit some of the other budgets? Because, again, if we're going to have 14%, okay, it's better, it's better. But, you know, again, 14%, you're looking at what? 4 times the rate of inflation? It would be nice to have a talking point that says, you know, we cut $1 million. I know it's like kind of inflation cost, but we cut $1 million of spending. Well, does it have to come from the overall? No, it doesn't have to. But like that come from somewhere. Again, in the spirit of trying to turn hundreds of quarters, not exactly easy things.
You could say we cut the tuition from 30% to 14.5.
In terms of rate inflation, there's a 5-year where we go 5 years and then we do that. So the house prices are accumulated and growing over 5 years. So it's probably, it may be less than that because if we strictly take the real estate inflation, which is what drove the whole thing.
And I think the voters basically said, well, we might understand, it doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter. So, can we just quickly also, none of this is new to me, but can we go to the contingency accounts? I thought at one point we took out our lines and they had our contingency. I only bring it up, I just want to double check. We've been around long enough to know, how much is the next one? We're going to come forward like that. Can we just double check that contingency? I don't see it on the list.
The detail, it sits at 6877. I mean, 61,877. But all the details sits there, there'll be adjustments when they get cut sheet.
I don't see a reduction in contingency. It doesn't move the needle, I get it. But I'd like to bring it down to 150,000 we all agreed on.
I'd like to redo the contingency this year, right there.
Yeah, quickly.
If we usually do. So everyone, I wrote something that we made, doing the cash.
That's the appropriation appropriations. I mean, what we're trying to budget, so we don't have to do these major appropriations. Good luck.
What do we have for contingency? It was 150, right now it's 200.
We started at 150, then we bumped it up in the spirit of trying to wrap up the budget. I just don't see it on the cut list to where we dropped it back down to the 150, which is what we all agreed on. Fair enough. But I want to check that. I didn't see what it was or where it was.
The one he just pulled up showed 150.
It showed 150 even.
So 150, and we did this on the 5% counts.
Okay, so, hold on. So in the budget flyer that was presented for this last referendum held on 7/15, the flyer shows like 59. So,
What's the reduction?
And that one, you can put that down.
9554, but it sounds like that's not going to be the needle at all, because we only got 150.
It's, right, it doesn't move the needle, but that's
But it adds to our list of reductions. Again, if we can say, I know we're not there, but we can say, we did a phase-in and we cut $1 million, it just seems like a better talking point to try and do it.
I still like we cut the tax increase from 30 to 14 without cutting any of the services.
Well, it wouldn't be 14, I think it's cut off at like 7.
What he just showed, we keep jumping around and not finishing what we're doing.
815 now.
That many iterations of it, I don't want to make a mistake.
No, Jason, what you're doing is fine. I was saying, we're not finishing one topic.
Right now, we've got 933 in, and then I'm just going to make a note of 1.6.
So that number was 133. That's what we first had on the table, we didn't have that. That's the school budget back and forth.
So,
That's not what we had said.
so you want to put the expense back,
Well, that's what I
all
thought.
of it or a portion?
All of it. I thought that was what we wanted for it, but all of the 815 back in. Put the rest out. That was a 3 to 3 vote. But now I'm seeing a 933, which is not what we said. Well, I just hope that we're showing, because now we're all looking at that percentage number, we may be looking at something different. We're not knowing what we're doing. So I just want to be very clear. Right now,
We're at 61,877,600. And the difference between the 933 and 815 is 61,750. That's ignoring the 900, 9,500 to the contingency, but again, 9,000 is I don't want to add it in there, but for the purpose of the mill rate, this is taking this is a nominal hit. This is $130,000 hit, right?
What's the fifteen, what's the 16? So that's not down to the 14 we saw before. So that's what taking it over now. What is it for go back to instead of an 815, put that in 408. And you see what it goes to. I would want to see that number. below half of the 30%. Because of the two-year phase-in, we should have brought down to at least half of what the increase was. So,
You gotta have the 1/6 for supplemental.
yeah.
We try to do 14, 16, 29, 39. And for comparison, for purposes of comparison. In 29, you have here 1565, you want the same a residential tax bill, average residential tax.
When we revisit the 5% salary,
Fair.
if we brought that down to 4, I know it's not, again, like you said before, not gonna be a huge needle mover, but we need to find something to get this under 15. And I wouldn't say much under 15, but under 15.
Like, even non-needle movers, it becomes a partial needle mover.
Right.
So the budget was 100,000 for, last time, which was 105. A little bit less than that, but just forgive us. So each percent say it's a little under $20,000. Roughly. A little bit less than that. All right, so I'm gonna start tracking this a little bit better here.
All right, think one of them. That's one to think of. Everybody think of one.
You go 3% to the 4%.
Now, leave that alone for now.
I agree.
Think a different one.
Well, let me ask you a question. In the last 2 months of the budget, and we're up to date on all the expenditures, what came coming in because they said in their head, we asked for X, we better spend X? What was the majority of those expenditures, do you know off the top of your head? What was like, oh my God, I'm gonna spend $1,000 on supplies just because that's what do you think?
If you want to sort of go back to where we finished the fiscal year and comparing it would be the items that usually get transfers on. And I think the biggest one where we're way off in this budget, like, we're cutting $9,000 here. The police were off by $500,000 in their overtime budget. So if we're really, like, if we're trying to go back to a budget that might reflect last year's actuals, you'd have to put in $500,000 back in its own wrong direction for the purposes of cuts. There might be other pieces of it, but just generally, we're off by $500,000. I mean, it's like $240,000, their final overtime budget was $721,000. It's a full $500,000. I want to be aware of that. And that's where we were focused on.
Can you go to the public work?
already took the whack out of diesel, gas, and lube.
Yeah.
Right? That was another one that we transferred out of.
I thought we talked about something about seasonal help in the last go-around.
From a staffing standpoint, in one of the earlier iterations where you have more than 20, I think-ish, which I don't think you can get there with phasing, just as a general, right, from a full dollar amount. We took out one full-time employee, and we took out our seasonal, we took out half of the seasonal employees. Why don't we pick out half that?
Seasonal, leave the workforce tax, so they're gonna have to work a little harder. Or we'll make the seasons work a little harder, I don't know. So, they don't always want to. You gotta call.
I would defer to our public works director, who started on Monday, on how best to address this, but I think that might affect the operation of your leaf compost, and how many days and or hours that's open might be what would be affected.
Okay, I'm gonna thought something.
Just for the heck of it, we run at 385, put that through the machine.
But right now, if it's like the brush mill, it's open, I think, 3 weeks full-time in the spring, 3 weeks in the fall. So by reducing this, it's just gonna be open on the weekends. So the longer that, the more we're reducing it, so you just won't be able to do your leaves only on the weekends.
But you don't know that that's the only thing that's seasonal things.
But it's 2 full-time employees.
I don't
It's not,
think you
it's
should
not
touch
full,
that.
yeah, it's not full-time employees, it's part-time
No, part-time.
employees and staff.
People that work there.
Jason, how long have you been doing this?
Because I put in the total amount of 985 times 4. I think we had discussed, again, I'm trying to get to a point that is approximate that 14.
But you can't change stuff that we've already known it was a number without telling us. You just can't. Put that back to 408,000.
So can I ask a favor?
No.
We work off of the cut sheet, please, so we can track it. Again, I want to make sure I'm doing what you guys want me to be able to do.
You change the numbers and we don't know about it, you see a percentage, we think you're there or you're there, then we're really not. That's
So that,
Put that 408,000, that was the last number we had talked. Now that rolls into that sheet somewhere, so that's the number we should be watching. Not there, but, yeah, okay. So that, what you got in yellow is, that's where all the reductions we're working on now will come from. So we know what to go back and look at. When we look at the police budget, item in there we may be able to get some money from. Let's start Virginia.
That was part of the base budget. Already there. That late start was already baked into the 61,876.
And that's with the trooper stuff in January.
Yes, sir.
That was 48,000.
I want to try to help give you guys an idea of what amount you need to try to, if you're trying to hit a half of what it would have been, that phase in, right, like,
I think it's going to be about 670.
if you're trying to get it.
Can you for the selectmen?
So it's a little over $200,000 after that, if you wanted to be able to say.
And that's at 14,805. You were at 14,990 before you put that last number in there.
Yeah,
So it's
all I'm trying to do is get you guys to a number.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's
you're a little over 200,000 in order to get to.
No, I think if you add 150 to that number, it brings us to 14,990. 1478 plus 150.
Yeah, I thought we were trying to say to get to half.
Bear with me. Go off of the yellow line where we're doing our reductions. Okay? Add 150 to that number. Okay? Does it change? I didn't see it change there. I have it as an automatic formula. Okay. Yeah, that's it, 14.99, so you're under the 15 mark. 185, 150,000. Not over 200.
So you think 1499 is going to pass?
Well, I know anything's going to pass. I don't have a crystal ball. I mean,
If we're looking to do something that we can say, as Mike said, what he wants, from what I'm hearing, what he wants is to get it down lower than that, to say we got the increase to 12, 13, 11, whatever that is. My thought was, if we can say, we reduced your increase by doing the phase-in and doing some cuts, and we keep the increase to less than half of what you would this year. Those are the two thoughts. Love to hear what you guys think.
Well, I think it's a good talking point, but
Mike's around.
yours, it's all in high spin.
Exactly.
Again, I still thought the original budget was perfect, but do I want to be doing this all summer and listening to all this? No. But I'm just one person.
And just a point of information, this is based upon somebody with $150,000 home. Everybody's number is not going to be that.
Right. And everybody's wasn't good.
Yeah, correct.
so it's still an average. It's not a mean, but it's an average.
So we need to come up with how much to
So
do
I
that.
find it interesting, just a quick question. Right now, as things stand, we have a 50% phasing. We've got cuts of like, what is it, 700,000? Looking at the yellow side. And we've got increased revenue. maybe not substantial, but increased revenue. And all of that only gets us to like roughly 50%. You'd think it'd get us a little more. Is it, you guys okay with that? I mean, the phase-in, I would think alone would get us to maybe close to, not exactly, but close to 50% savings. But when you're cutting almost $750,000 and you're adding revenue, all of those going in the right direction from lowering the tax rate, you think, I'm just being skeptical, you think it'd be further ahead?
I'm going to have John Sheik, it's not proportional.
Okay.
It's not 50-50, I know that. I thought it was like 52-48 or some number based on, but the 50% one year isn't 50% the next year. It's based on the value of the home at that point.
Okay.
So it's a little different.
And it is such a difference.
It does. So it's not really 50-50, it's close. But I mean,
It's just, my point, like, to back to Patty's point, to say, we roughly cut your tax rate in half, on average, right, in half. But we did that by instituting the phase-in, cutting, whatever, $700,000, and increasing revenue by whatever, X. Just seems like we come up with more than that.
we didn't really increase revenue more than $100,000.
Well,
It was just motor vehicle, right?
well, we did, I mean, we added 25 or something, and did we do something with the,
Peter moved his interest
down?
up. He moved it down at the last meeting, but it's still up year over year, so we'll take a look at that real quick. So the 24 budget for prior year tax was 327, we moved it to 750 and then brought it back down to 650.
So that,
The 225 went to 500 and then it came down to 400.
all right, so I guess we reduced revenue, that's going in the wrong direction.
Correct.
Okay.
And Mike, to answer your question, I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with any of this. But it's a function of what happened to housing prices. So we're trying to keep taxes down as much as we can without decimating the town. We had a very good budget and an increase of 4.5%. It wasn't bad at all. And that wasn't good enough. We're trying to get it so that it's a fair and equal budget for the entire town. And no, I'm not okay with it, but we're trying to do the best we can. And that means nobody's happy. But I don't want to cut anything.
But we still got to find another 150,000 to get that 720.
Yeah, that's more of course.
There's more cuts that need to come if we want to get there.
At that number of the 728 is just another 3.5% expense.
Yeah, and I talked to him about the comment that was made about the 4 and 5% salaries that we have to be careful. The problem with that is the union packages have a lot more in their package other than just a 8% increase. 5% increase to them is not good for 5% increase to the town hall employees. Because they have bump ups, they have other things that can happen in these years as part of their overall package. So I don't want to just say 5% to 5%. So that's why I don't want to go below that. Absolutely not. What other words do I recommend?
Let's just look at them.
I'm just.
Well, we initially got rid of all the temporary replacement, correct? So
Yeah, it's
people
gone
who
from
are
part
on
of the
vacation-
selectmen's budget. Got rid of the temporary help lines.
Yeah.
The lines that we hit before from a staffing standpoint, on one of
public works director, not director, one public works employee, and then part-time labor. So I'm not recommending any of those, but if you're trying to find $150,000, it's going to be.
So, what I'm more concerned about is when you have two people in the office, and one person says they want to go on vacation, and they need somebody to come and help them. Do it yourself. Right, so is that the temp replacement? Did we already take that out?
Yes, now it's a zero.
Yep, all right, let's make sure.
I mean, that's just that one budget.
You doing a building addition? Gotta get a question there.
I'm just wondering if we look at town hall, for example, and does it help if we close during lunch, the things that we can do? I don't think we should close in days, but we can look at, everywhere I go, post office, I don't know. I would like to just try to do something that doesn't cause chaos, but yet. Well, no, to not have to back somebody out, to not have to pay somebody to come and install them for lunch or whatever.
Oh, we got rid of that. All of them, yeah. Oh.
Jason, I'm sorry, it's been so long since we did the building official thing. We're 5 months away from that now. What was that, 144, 772 for?
That consultant.
That is a combination of building consultants where you receive a large project and they send it out for review. And then that is the, what's the name of the company?
Do you have them this one?
No, it's our town, it's our planning, Goldman, I would say Goldman and York, correct. They always call it Gorman, it's Goldman.
So why, again, remind me if anybody remembers, why did we go from 39,000, was it 79,024, up to 144?
Because you had a staffing piece of things.
Yep.
And then Goldman and York. I know an employee came and then left and then came back. I don't know how that affected the budgets, but there is no town planner in this line item right now. But there is the increased expense for the
It was 4 hours.
full-time.
We got a guy with 4 hours a week every, that kind of thing.
That's on this side.
That's the line I'm
It was
asking.
4 hours a week.
Again, since we're looking at that, even if it's taken down, we gotta figure out what we're going to do. You know, if it's for creating, we're going to cut back on planning. Exactly.
Look at this, but I want to go back and look at it. But the other end of it, Thursday, we have whatever it's done, it's going to go. That's how you feel, we're going to do something. Do we want to do that alone, or do we want to go one through?
He said we don't have enough time to go back to us to make the decision.
We decided to take $50,000 out of that, we don't have time to go back through some of our expenses. Oh, no, that's the next one, it's easy to see.
Again, there are two pieces to that. The first one is the money book, and the first one is the third-party plan review.
Building plan review, so this means that we're not going to extend our 30-day wait period to 5 days.
We have at least one large project.
I would recommend taking that first in the record. Yes, they did pay for it, but there's no record. I would suggest taking $24,000.
Right?
$44,000?
In the spirit of trying to help you all, I know, I hear you loud and clear, there's a concern about not reducing personnel. But I think on the town side, I think there's at least 2 employees, 2 positions. We would classify those as a reduction of personnel. Are you okay with keeping the 2 new employees in? Which one are you going to do? If we go to third, we're too soon.
All right, you go first. You go first.
So currently in the budget, we have, new maintainer, facilities maintainer in the budget, right? And, budget discussion, this is, used out and maintainer one, facility. So this is the staff. Which is one person from one of the other. One of the other budget iterations that was gone through, there was a discussion on from a police standpoint, that we wanted to cut 1.5 positions. These are open positions from this year, people that have resigned or retired, and then the chief was going for 2 in the budget cycle, and you asked the chief to roll 2 out, and then it ended up coming to, moving into a half of the one. And that's a delay of the hire. So we currently have 1 person at the academy right now. If we wanted to take the other 1 out, we would be giving that position up and say, hey, recruit, you know, they would be snapped up by any number. If you go to, you know, the open, there's a couple of websites, that just advertise for police officers in Connecticut. I would say there are at least 90, over half of the total number of communities in Connecticut that are attempting to hire a police officer. So we would be odd in that we would be letting go of police officers, but we are also in a unique situation. So that's the other position. That's 90 and change-ish, you know, 96, 95, roughly.
I'm glad I yielded to you, because I wasn't thinking about the police, I was looking at just new positions, but we could certainly take that under advisement. It's a great point, I thank you for bringing that up. 2 new positions in the budget that I was referring to, the maintainer, which Jason explained very well, and then the fire department. Public safety, I guess, in the spirit of, you know, saying we don't want to reduce personnel, about $45,000.
It's hours, though.
Yeah.
It's not, it could be 5 people, it could be.
But it's a position, there's a position there. I'm just, and again, it's in the spirit of trying to help your
That's
cause.
the position.
That's all. If it's an issue, I get it, I'm just trying to help your cause.
But is that the position for
Is that my husband?
the guy,
You're
It's
collecting
our
costs.
cost.
the guy that's during the day to maintain
Yeah.
a one-man presence? I do not want to touch that.
Okay.
Because
What you really want to do is make a phone call and say, can you hold for the next
But what-
available operator?
well, what that does is, he can physically get in a truck and drive the truck to where there's an issue while the volunteers are showing up. That's the pro for having that there. To me, I think that's a very big pro versus there's no one at the station. I gotta wait for someone to come from their XYZ job to show up, drive the truck in.
Just to clarify, it's fine.
And I think Mark's here and he can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Hey, Mark, who's doing the maintenance at that building?
And,
Who's doing the maintenance? If you have a guy, full-time position there,
yeah,
let's say, I'm just throwing this out to everybody here, and hopefully there's no fire,
Yeah.
they're there, could they be doing the maintenance in there?
actually they do. They go through all the trucks, make
So
sure.
we don't need anybody from the town to come in to do maintenance in the fire department?
No, they're two different issues.
I'm
The
talking
guy-
about the cleaning and stuff.
Yeah.
With union contracts, Ron, you know that.
They can work with cleaning the vehicles, make sure the vehicles are up and stuff. I don't know how they can
Yeah, you got the
No,
volunteers do that.
maybe empty the trash. But you have a union maintainer at that building, I don't know how you can offset it. The public works guy,
Didn't they change that, Mark? Mark, didn't they change that about a year ago?
What's that?
Yeah, why do you have the conversation with them? Why do you have the conversation with them? You're opening it up. Maybe you want to have them come forward this week.
So this was the fire coordinator. Again, it's not a person, or at least from an HR standpoint, it's not a person. You don't have it. These represent part-time equal coverage for all one person. That's what I'm doing. The primary reason that, as I remember was being explained, Mark, is because right now we're losing coverage to other towns. People are going to do that same process for either East Windsor or Suffolk or Granby or whoever.
It's a mutual aid agreement, and yes, we support that.
What are you guys looking at?
I just put the president on the front sheet.
Question on IRS was an add back when she only had 2% or 2% in for wages, and Scott recommended 5, we voted on 5, and then she came back and requested 5 in the first half, and that got us to the 511, 691, and then we have reductions here, 7.2. Legal, finance, library.
Budget's fine. So that's my confusion, because the budget's fine. shows something much higher than $470. So just trying to make sure all the pieces are together. If you're confident that $470 is going to be a mill reduction, then fine, go. If it's not, then we have to change it. So just like you did with the contingency, you showed it was $150,000, even though I questioned if there wasn't. Same thing, library, let's just see, so it's at $470,000.
I do it from the top down, maybe I start at the 61,877 and then subtract what it was. I'm always going back to the first one that was there. I'm not doing it from the bottom up.
So you want to see
It could
what
be
the
a wrong,
library-
could be a wrong way of doing it.
When you see what the library budget is, and you go to our cut sheet, and that should be the number that should be matching the floor. Is that?
Yeah, these numbers are typed in here, but that's what we're trying to get to.
So if we go to the library line item, it should say 515,287.
I think it was 511.
Yes, it said it was 511, close enough. But it should be about 470.
It's 470 with our 45,000.
That cut's in there. I mean, as far as I know, it is.
All these details add up to the 61,877. So it's not in there. You have to go back each time and say, all right, where are you removing?
So it should be part of the cut sheet. So 45 should be on the cut sheet.
It is.
It is.
It is. It's
Right there.
I hate shrinking it, but this little icon down here. So we're at, this 23,000, I believe, was,
No, where's the 44
I
from
don't,
the?
haven't gotten back to
Okay.
detail. I don't remember where the 23,000 was from, something, it was 3%.
Or consultant, we had consultant.
Hey, Jason, line 25, the 8% to the 4%, is that 5 to 4? Yeah, that's right.
You go to column H. Column H should be 5 to 4. The only other,
I want to go back to selectmen, please. Whatever, you don't have to rush. Is there,
Which, all the way to the top. Yeah. Or some other, what department are you thinking about? Would you like to know that?
Who makes up the regular, what employee?
This. The first license, the manager, assistant, the first one.
you can see what Jason's telling you.
Is there a suggestion that you made, or? Use what?
With the tax amount.
If you're looking for the cut, secretary.
Would you suggest that we be on a rotating basis? You tell me what we want.
Something we need to look at instead of separate time.
I was guessing that would be. I think $25,000. We do have $100,000 out of the fourth. Okay, bring it down to COA. So we're getting $308,000. I mean, there's no other deal. I can see it, something I'm not seeing.
You told me 10 or 15 of those, that's what we need.
Very good, thank you. Okay, there you go. I think it's a suggestion, try to move this forward. If we're trying to get this 50% number, I think the only way we're gonna do it is we're gonna have to have it. I don't want it, but I mean, if we gotta get there, that's the only way we're gonna get it.
Jason, I have to ask you again, guys. Is there anything you can touch on this one?
That's at 1,850 an hour.
You need to ask? So we have to say and the 1850 hours that is to take us through
That's
for the entire year.
But if we post our finance correctly, then we get someone in January, February, and then we're going to. I know there's intrinsic costs, you know, I'll get all that other stuff. But I mean, it's vacation time, I mean, that would be a adjustment.
So I can tell you that I'm not going to share the hour. If you take me, because I went through this where the hours rest, is there's 170 of those hours are actually evening meetings, not right during the day. So you need to recognize that when you attend all the evening meetings, like, you guys have another budget process, right? We're probably blowing through those hours at the end of next year. There's still consulting going on at that time. But if you look at actual operating hours with somebody's like 9 to 5 again, it's 1850 less 170. It's like 170 evening hours associated with that. So you're down to, what is that, like a little under 1,500, 1,600?
So let's assume, since this is only the second time in how many years that we've had this sort of budget process at all the way around, let's assume we don't have that next year. Because the phasing was already done, that was already agreed to. You could cut,
I mean, 100 hours is $10,000.
when you think you could cut 300 hours, you said, to 350?
Well, I mean, I think you probably want somebody here during your board of finance budget meetings to help guide you.
Right, but they're not going to be as many as there was this year. There would be February, March, and April, and then twice a month, and we end up usually canceling a couple in December.
The 170 assumes a normal year for you guys. We haven't, like, this year was not a normal year, from an hours, right? So, you know, I would do it in $10,000 increments, to say, hey, it's only going to be this many hours, et cetera, and I think you end up with two choices. You end up with, you drop hours during the day, or you have a replacement
the other thing we had to do this year was hit contingency. Or did we go to?
100% we did, we did contingency.
So we got that person in there to if we still go higher next year. I just think we have to hit things, right? You guys want to, we hit that or we
Well, I also think that love Scott Lee. I cannot see Jason staying much longer, but that's my honest opinion.
As a consultant.
As a consultant, yeah, because now you have a new selectman, and whether that new selectman, I would imagine, would want to hire a finance director. Jason might be a consultant. I don't know, Mandy, I don't know what the previous financial director was being paid, I can't remember anymore. It's been so long ago.
130, 140, come on now.
I'll show you the break even, you want to see the break even of if you hire someone, because you're not getting rid of it and there's nothing, right? Like if you.
Right, you gotta have somebody. And what I was gonna say, Lori, the only thing with that theory is, I would hope that the new first selectman wouldn't come in and say, okay, I'm gonna get somebody new in November, December. That would be the worst time.
Right.
The job should have been posted in April and it wasn't. So I would think it would have to go till April time, March, April, but it's gotta be posted then.
It's gotta be way before we start budget season.
Or just after the budget.
To hire somebody.
You hire one, you can't have someone new coming in through this budget process. They quit in months. So I'm thinking, you know, the earliest you get someone would be May-ish, where they'd have enough time to work their way into the system to be ready for a budget season next year.
So I wouldn't do a drastic cut to it, but again, to bring money down, we're gonna hit everywhere we can.
So even if we go May, we would only save a few months. If this is going
And I'm not, if you guys want me to make the cut, I'm saying whether it's a person or whether it's a consultant, if you have people there, you would have to put in dollars for a person if you take out the dollars for the consultant.
Right, but we have to add in benefits.
Yeah. So,
If
if you want to cut, you have to say, Jason, instead, because the budget was, I want to say 32 or 35, I can grab the exact number. It's either 32 or 35. It's either you say, hey, don't come to the evening meetings, or don't, you know, like, instead of, like, I think the plan was going to be Monday through Thursday. So you could say, hey, Monday through Thursday, half a day on Thursday, start clocking hours for 13. Not that I recommend one way or another, but just,
And we don't know if it can happen now, do we? Do we put something in to just like we just did to the building official? Do we put a cut in and just say, we gotta figure it out afterwards, or the selectmen, the selectmen have to do that, or what do we do? Or we do like Clark said, we take $100,000 more from what we were doing before and then that's the. Yeah, also.
speak, Mike.
I agree, that was my suggestion. I mean, it should do with what Todd just said it much more eloquently than I did, but yes, if there's improvements, if new positions, it seems like we should look at those hard, seriously, because we're going to have budget crisis. And obviously, public safety is very important, there's no doubt about it, it's very important. But
So if we did those two, which two retainer? In other words?
there's a maintainer and the second driver.
Coordinator.
Coordinator.
So what would that give us?
That's why, in budget number 2, it was a little bit easier, not wasn't easy, but it was a little bit easier to reduce one public works individual, because we were increasing the building maintainer side of the staff.
Somebody doesn't get laid off. It's, the maintainer gets posted and somebody bumps around into it.
Oh, okay.
But again, it's not avoiding work that's being done. Like, for example, you are adding, like, you can say it's an add, right? But you're also adding, 40,000 square feet of building to clean. So you reduce somewhere on the road crew or the grounds crew or the building crew to be able to sacrifice something there in order to bump up the facilities maintainer crew, which is 3 people now, will turn into 4. So that's that, and then on the police department, 48501. Not
We might
police,
say
what was
we-
the other, was the maintainer, or was the other one? The fire. Yeah, something like that. Which is between 42 plus a raise and increases.
But it's a volunteer department.
Not that position, not the coordinator. And it's already an existing position, but it's not a new position, it's just increasing hours. So, it was already there.
Yeah, I used the word improvement.
Okay.
So on 7.3.
I gotta get this clear in my head. The DPW, are we eliminating a position?
You're eliminating a maintainer position, but we're adding a facilities maintainer position. You're
So
eliminating
is
some,
anybody gonna get laid off?
assuming that people bump into the position, no. Nobody bumps into a position yet.
Is there a statement to this?
No, actually, it's an increase. Facilities maintainer makes more than a maintainer 1. So it is an attractive position for someone who's a maintainer 1 to want to go after that maintainer, that facilities maintainer position. The only drawback is that position had been discussed as being a second shift position. To be able to cover the fact that the police, one of the facilities they would be cleaning would be our historical train station. And because of that, that was an evening thing.
But right now, we don't know that we have to keep that open at that point, so I would not vote for it.
Well, that's one of the 3 things that we would have to do. It's a swap on the senior center, right? It's a semi-swap, not exactly, for police
public safety complex versus the new complex, which is much larger, right?
No, but there is a plan to get a renter in the historical train station, I would pay for that.
Yeah, but until when?
As soon as the building's done, we get DOT to make an agreement, that it's okay.
Well, this, now, because the person sees that.
I'm unaware of that we ever had to negotiate.
Yeah, sure. Well, was part of that come out of the TIF district? But now,
That's half of that was funded.
Okay, so what is this date? Is it good? Percentage increase?
Just make sure we get $15 million.
something like that.
You're close. To get to that 1499, you need to be at 728, you're at 713. So you're off by 15,000, which is
15.01, I think, coordinated, whatever, big towns. Public safety guys, I'm sorry. You got one time, you don't get it, like today, one time we don't get a fire truck at that house, the guy dies, because we were there for 5 minutes, I'm sorry. It happened today. I mean, was good or bad, bad for him. But
So you're saying cut it?
don't put the coordinator back in and get the money from the coordinator. That's the worst of two evils, as far as I'm concerned. That's the worst of two evils.
And if they have to implement pay to play and the other things they were talking about,
You have to do it.
not your taxes, but you're still paying for it. You want your taxes lower? Okay. You can use for those sports, sadly.
like you said. Do we want to try to minimize the impact to the board of ed there?
This one here, that's what, the number out there that was supposed to. I just want to bring it down to just 300 or something, 335. Let's say 355. Should be 458,000 we moved, I think. Is that what we got at?
And it's not a Board of Ed cut, it's shifting
Insurance.
their insurance.
What would that dollar all be?
Better than 815.
Yes, it is.
It's still,
Okay. So that's 14.99, and all of the cuts, can you go back to that cut sheet again for a second?
changing the calculation. 24.5. You're off 35 grand in TIP district, they have $400,000 in fund balance, that's not make it or break it, sort of.
How much we're down to that housing stuff a month?
So for a house, no phase in, it would have got $150,000 house would have gone from $29.55 to $38.21, or $866 increase, or 29.31%. Instead, with a phase in, the 29.55 to 33.97, which is only an increase of 4.42, which is 36.91 is the current one.
Can you scroll back up to the total, Jason? So the total budget right now that we present is the 68,148, 61,148, 668. Okay. I make the motion to move forward the 25-26 budget at 61,148,668.
Connie makes the motion, have a second? Tom seconds. Any other discussion? Michael, Dan? Lucinda?
I'm concerned that we didn't, I think there's a group of people that want stuff cut. They don't care what it causes. So I am concerned that we didn't cut enough. I think it's very sad. Again, like everybody else has said, the original budget, I think a lot of people don't realize that we did not give the departments everything they wanted. There were cuts made. So that was a good solid budget. This is not.
It's not good because we're not giving the money to the town. Marginally.
Right. We're always taking 3 steps back,
No, I
1
hear you.
step forward. And, I'm tired of people going, oh, we're a blue-collar town.
Right.
Well, come on, guys. I think people forget that part of paying taxes is community responsibility.
Any other discussion? Okay, Mike?
No.
Dan? Lucinda? Lori? I'm gonna go, Tom?
Yes.
Patty? Yes. The motion? Okay. Do you want any more cuts?
He knows, can you tell me what you want to do?
The only reason why I voted no, whatever, we gotta get to it, yeah? So, how much were you going to go, Mike?
Well, I think the tax rate is too high, so we got $5 more. Take the starting point, is the board of ed, and then $15,000. So let's see what happens.
So we're back to the,
That's a starting point.
Part of information, maybe more information in that flyer, or would not impact the pay for play or the this or the that or whatever. I know Mike, that's not the case.
So then we bring it up, what did you say, 250?
254 or something like that, I think 250 is it.
We were on the,
Same and same. And Mike was thinking it's too much, but for people that think that's too little. And so I want to go all the way back up. I'm not recommending it one way or another, we just have to stick out. Fire about it. So that puts, instead of putting 815 or $408,000 worth of cuts, that would put it at $250,000.
I'm confused.
Not recommending, I'm just saying.
Did you vote over this?
I don't think it's in the past. What we heard continually, because I agree with you. You know what? I would like to go back to the original budget. I think it's sad that, but what I keep hearing is, last night, on Face Plant, people just, all they want to see is cuts. They don't care. The gentleman that went and got the signatures, so he wants to see pink slips, and he wants layoffs, and blah, blah, blah. So that's what we're fighting. We're fighting with people who do not care about the ramifications to the town as a whole. So that's where I'm at. I feel like it's time to get a budget. I'm worried about the money that's getting burned up month after month. I think the reality is, we're stuck because we have people that simply don't want to hear it. And, you know, I keep hearing, can you also explain, is the barn not funded by LoCIP?
So the capital improvements, there's only one capital improvement that still exists because it's revenue that we budget for in our budget of $119,000 roughly. So there's a revenue and an offsetting expense. It's the only reason why that's our target. No, that's our LoCIP, our annual LoCIP.
So could you just briefly explain what LoCIP is? Because, again, people grab onto stuff, and then there's a group of people that, like clapping seals, take off with it, and I think we have to start explaining what we're doing here.
So that $119,000, the state allocates to the town. You can choose to say, no, state, I don't want it, if you wanted to, but then, I don't know why you would do that. But generally, you have to show the state where you're budgeting for the expense when you're posting for the revenue, okay? I think there was a public comment, I don't know if it was this meeting or the prior meeting, that says, perhaps there is another capital expenditure you could use that for, right? But every other capital expenditure was pulled off of the list in the last budget, like everything except that one thing. The only reason it stayed is because it has to stay, or else I can't show it as a revenue. You just say, hey, don't want it, right? And you can't use that to be able to offset the salaries of a new police officer. You can't use it to offset the new DPW facilities maintainer. It's got to be on a capital improvement. And you cut everything else out of the capital improvement.
Local community improvement program. So it's gotta help the local community, that's what LoCIP stands for. So it's not salaries, it's not going to general fund, it's gotta do something to improve the community. No control over it. But if you wanna throw the money away and not accept it, go ahead, you throw a bunch of other crap out the window, I don't care.
Well, I don't want to throw it away. I want to explain to people who grab onto it how it's funded.
And the town spent a little under, over a 3-year period, probably 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, you spent money to be able to analyze and take a look at all of those structures and agree to develop a capital improvement plan to try to address the responsibility that you inherited when the property was given to you, deeded to you. And
You guys have dutifully been putting dollars away each budget year. Sometimes it failed and it had to be put off to the next year, but you're at a point where you're trying to address some of the water infiltration issues around the barn right now, right? So there's, we have an architect. It's Mike Weisbrod is our architect with Cross Key Architects that's assigned to this project. We already have dollars already approved sitting in the budget to be able to address this. This is like the final piece of it.
This is purely barn renovation only. Not all the other stuff I'm seeing on Facebook.
Exactly.
This is just the barn. Fix the brickwork, fix the water problem.
It's in the deed.
I'm not worried about the deed.
Well, you are worried because if we don't maintain that brick barn, the town could lose the 22 acres.
Yeah, who's it gonna go to? No one else can afford it, but the town can pay for it. I'm just telling you that right now. Who's got the deep pockets, that you think piece of property, not develop it, go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on it. And we're doing the best we can, all right? But I want to make it clear, we've been using grant money and LoCIP money for the most part to take care of that farm. The roof, the cupola, the gutters, where someone ran into it with a car. So I mean, I want the people to understand, it's nothing else at Nottingham Farm but that farm.
Right.
So,
Thank you, Jason.
so I say we put it out at the town, well, we don't know them, we'll let the selectmen set a mill rate, we don't. Again, leave them to water, they can drink it, they're never gonna drink.
All right, well, I'm gonna re-motion it. I'm gonna make a motion to send to town the 61,148,668. I make the first, we're re-motion and marriage.
Remotion one that lost?
Yeah, go ahead. Who wants to second it? Mike?
No,
Dan?
yeah.
Lucinda?
No.
I'm voting yes. Con?
Yes.
Patty?
Yes.
All right, it passes.
So let's, can we motion the 470, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the tip?
Yeah?
TIF, yeah. But that budget will end up asymmetrical.
Yes.
Before, are we gonna look at the detail at some point of what that 470 is?
I don't see my,
Okay, I thought we were going through it.
And all based off of the grandness reduction in.
yeah, so this would be the revenue piece of things, right, the 470? And if you guys want to have at it, you gotta add 35 back into the budget, and that would drive your 99 up. I'm not against doing that, but I'm just,
I would suggest that we go to the TIF district expense detail and make sure that our expenses going forward equal more than 47,000. That's all they're looking to do. Arts Council amount, taking grounds maintenance. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but.
If I were to take something, it would have to be, it's not that long. If you're trying to find 35,000, I'm not recommending this, but for the purposes of expediency, you may consider this, the engineering. Let's say there's a Christmas thing.
Not that I know. I'd like to see the receipts for that.
What's the grounds maintenance again? Because you already moved DPW over to another line.
So historical maintenance on the train station.
Okay, I would say take money out of that. Don't say you can't. You can. We have a plan to rent the place out to bring revenue in. Once you're done, we will have that one.
I want you to rent it tomorrow, Mark. You're waiting for me to.
I gotta wait for DOT.
Don't blame me because DOT's doing it.
I mean,
I resent that characterization. I'm sorry I have to say this, but I'm done.
you can't say, you can't take that out.
You can take anything out. We are ignoring $500,000 of overtime in the police department and whacking away $1,000 here or there, guys. They sit here and yell at me when I'm trying to help you guys make a good decision.
Finally!
He broke. Ground maintenance.
Salary and wage season, this budget amount for the last 2 years was spent. Why is that? Do that?
Because it ended up getting spent on the DPW. And that's what I worked on.
So can we take collecting out of that?
It's a difference between the air and ground maintenance.
They take the other part of the grounds. Isn't that 35?
That's it. It's either seasonal or part-time.
Not tonight, but that's all. And you know, the Arts Council is what runs our holiday tree lighting event. That's not produced in the Arsenal.
what does that mean? That the application process to get it?
So we only affect one revenue line through this calculation. When you reduce the rate of increase in that's this. Kind of flat out. More than this calculation. Really important, something portion of that revenue. Remember that it was about part of that fund, part of that cash flow is we have to talk more.
$510,000. You still had the 66 in there. We only reduced it by 30, rather than talking $95. But you still had that 66,000 in there. It is. Because we have
The range of values were 22 and 22. When we started this, we didn't have exact numbers of that. We now have a number.
Okay, how did you change it to 1.5 million? I can see it here. Trying to get 470. What was it when we were at the $510,000? So we were already overspent on our budget before. That's all this is telling us.
We have range between 470 and 636.
Okay, so we went from 572 down to 470, now 505 to 470. Is what you're telling me? Correct. Okay. So we started with the wrong number. So 505.
Correct. This was 572, just about 66 is probably the credit on the answer.
That's, you rebate, that's, I agree, but that, in other words, all the other numbers change, the rebate number stays the same, because the rebate changes well as a result of this phase.
So the rebate is based upon the change in values from when the credited and the agreement signed to today. Those properties have all gone down. Well, not have been
I
valued.
agree, but in the last year, you're now only going up 50%, just in the last year, as opposed to like 100% of what it says that was.
Well, I mean, I know this is what we've done in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not half my income.
So it's right in the ballpark.
It's not far off. I know that. I don't think we adjust this line. You know, in essence, you could go out the balance of.
The only needle movers are the ones that highlighted in yellow. Now you're talking about the shared services. start reducing those, we have to start reducing people's hours per job. That's how it's, we split up, because they spend some time here and some time there. Okay, so if you reduce those, you'll be reducing them.
Or are you showing the fund balance?
I say for this year, you hold a fund balance. Or other dollar change. I say you just hold a fund balance. That's it.
Maybe you gotta make a cut in one of those police, like from the public works. And those are items that we just spent the last 2 hours.
That was like one. You reopen Pandora box on the 61. I say just for this year, go into the fund balance and not make it happen.
You're adopting the expense line item for those centers.
Yes. Get those reductions.
And I would suggest the more you whack away, like you're in a difficult situation, that the more you whack away at certain lines in this budget, you potentially lose votes. One side, you wanna lower it in an area that doesn't affect certain, areas of the budget, right? But on the flip side, of it, you wanna keep it going down, just those three don't.
Kind of wants to take a little break, so we're gonna recess.
Vote for motion on the TIF district. It's 472.33.
All right. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Mike, make it go.
No, make it.
But it was a lot.
So why, Mike?
It was a little 403.
Yeah, we're talking about this fund balance, right? We're taking, maybe not tonight, but there's talk of taking capital expenses out of the fund balance, 1,000, it's just too much. So I would have, if everything had worked out for this last election, I would have voted again. But I'm just not in favor of taking it out of fund balance. We've not done that historically, doesn't mean we can't do it, but I'm just not in favor of it.
So the TIP fund balance is different than the town.
Agree 100%, but through referendum number 1 and even referendum number 2, we had significant expenses coming out of the TIF district. I know they're not coming out of the TIF district fund balance. I know they're not in play now, but I'm pretty positive that if we can ever get a budget passed, those capitals are going to resurrect themselves. That's not going to go away. And we're going to take another, what was the number, 66,000 on fund balance. If it's just 66, okay, so be it. But if you go back to the first and second budget flyers, I think there's, a few $100,000 that we're planning to take out of there.
We just don't do it.
Well, okay, you just don't do it.
When we get to
So
that,
somehow it'll come up.
when we get to the conversation for capitals, we'll just,
We have a tough time saying no as a group. We do.
Part of those capitals affect the schools.
Of course, yes, of course.
it grows.
All right, so who's gonna make a motion on this? All right. All right, but
I'll make the motion.
I make the motion for the TIP budget at 472.33, right? Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
I'll second. Mike? Oh, any other discussion? Mike, no. Dan?
No.
Lucinda? No. Lori's a yes. Thank you. Tom?
Yep.
And Patty, yeah, so it's
Now take a break.
Yeah, let's
PTSD. I don't think it has to be.
How late we gonna go? Yeah. Anyway, you got somebody for the 29th? Be available for if there is. Keep waiting to get my car tax bill from the leasing company. It's, I just leased the 2024 Curry Overland, so it's gonna be a hit.
They have $4,000, $5,607 allotted for tax exemptions for 510. There's 510 veterans in there.
When I do my budget now, I have to make some cuts. If this goes through, I gotta make a couple of cuts. Yeah. Okay.
There's a reason why Jason slammed it.
All right.
It's not because, $6,000 for 510 veterans, that comes out to $10.99 each. I'm supposed to get 4,000 by myself. My brother also gets 4,000 when he's in town. So they're hiding the money, because they get that money back from the state. So they're keeping all the money from the state, and they're not giving the veterans the exemption to the actual people. So they're collecting the tax and getting money back from the state. That's why they have $22 million. And I can prove all of it. Wait till I talk about the 22 cops per 10,000 residents. And Coventry has 13. 4 times the area in land mass, half the crime. Here. Here. And they also, you know what their total budget is? 49 million.
Really?
Yeah, they have 12,600 residents and 38 square miles. Where are they spending all this money on, Kurt? That's going to be my next topic. And they're basing all this off of an average house of costing $200,000. What's the average cost of a house in Windsor Locks?
Oh,
Yeah, so they're misleading the public with all this bullshit. They don't know how to use Google apparently up there. Yeah, the average home price in Windsor Locks is $308,000 to $315,000. So all these numbers are
$179 per square foot.
$308,000 to $315,000. All misleading. See, that's what happens when you get bigger with the same stigma curve. They didn't realize they had a military intelligence contract and, you know, scored in the top 2% ass with a 17-year-old fellow anyway, who's married, so they can do this full-time shit all they want. Ellington alone gave $5 million in tax exemptions. $5 million.
for 30 veterans. So the whole state thought that this exemption was only going to cost $5 million. It cost about $7 million for the state. That's why they wanted to shut people up. That's why the detectives were there from Windsor Locks. No jurisdiction. Apparently they don't know how to use GPS and thought they were at Windsor Locks at the Capitol building. So, and then the reason why they didn't Speakers are back on, the microphones are back on. 2 minutes.
About? Mark? We should have say if you can afford an assistant superintendent. Good start.
Start cutting into this, you're gonna go back to your no, what we just approved, you start changing this, you have to go back to that. Just tell me, that's what you're saying when you say no.
You ready? Okay, we're back in session at 9:20 still. So this just brings us back to the original budget, I'm assuming, right?
I think we're talking about the TIF district, that seems to be our issue, right?
Yeah.
So, basic municipal budgeting principles. We should be able to cover our annual recurring operating expenses with current year revenue, right? We're not talking about a one-time, long-term capital project. We're talking about recurring operational expenses. So, I'm not convinced that using the undesignated fund balance to cover operational expenses, either in the regular budget or in the TIF district, is the right answer. I understand we're $66,000 short. So my only suggestion is, let me finish, because I know you won't like it right where I start, but if we remove $66,000 of those shared allocated expenses in the TIF district and push them back dollar for dollar, push them back, not cut them, but push them back dollar for dollar into the general fund operating budget, I realize that brings the tax rate up, it changes the mill rate, a little bit, $66,000, but it's a way to show that we are covering our annual recurring operating expenses in both budgets with current year revenues and not having to use our undesignated fund balance. I know the concern is going to be, the group worked very hard for a couple hours to try and get that average tax increase down to 50% or below 15%. This may kick it over, I'm not sure, but at least it sort of satisfies the basic budgeting principles of covering your expenses with your revenues.
Well, my first question is, how did we get the increase in the general fund? It's not because of non-capitals, it's because we got money from salaries and stuff that we didn't spend. So we're deciding to spend it now. It's not like it's money we've got sitting in the bank. That money froze because we were underspending that budget for 3 years.
It should be used, if there is savings, if there's favorable variances, it should be used for one-time, long-term capital projects. And that's what we had discussed.
So why has it got to be capital? Because it's not money that was put in there from unallocated capital that wasn't spent. If that was the case, I agree with you. But it's put in there because we didn't spend as much money on the services.
Yeah.
That's how that money got in there. So we can put it towards services. These are services. That's where fundamentally I think you're wrong. Okay? So.
But if that suggestion's no good, I get it, that's fine, because again.
I didn't say it was no good, I just said, I don't agree with the philosophy how you got there. No matter what's going to happen is, you're either going to pay here, or you're going to pay there. You're not going to reduce the main budget, you're going to increase it by 66,000. Go ahead. Okay, but there's nothing else to cut there, so we're going to go to 15.01 instead of 14.99.
Which I know could be an issue for some, I get it, I get it.
That's what you want, to get by this hurdle, they didn't do it. But that's not the reason why we moved those monies over here, because we all felt that certain services were spent on that section of town, and they should be paying for that portion of service. That's why we did it.
Right, but now, it's a different budget, and this is one of the fallouts of having to implement a phasing, which I'm not saying is a problem, but it's just a function of what we're dealing with.
That's up.
2419. I mean, if there's a concern, just, let me know, and we'll try to come up with something else.
So we have to re-motion this one, we
Yes.
got it back in.
Yes.
You voting no to that?
Well, yeah, we vote no, yes, we vote no, to the operating budget, not to the TIF budget.
Okay. So now you voted no, the rest of you are going to vote no, and then
Well,
we're back to the same,
that's what I'm trying to get to.
the same condition we're at now.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to, is, the 4 people that passed the general fund budget, would you still vote yes? I mean, that's what we gotta know before we change our numbers.
One more, yes.
I would still vote yes, I think, 15.01
TIF budget, we gotta reduce it by 66,000 and change. What department do you want to reduce it with? Police, public works, or select? And then we need to go to the general fund budget and
What was the seven? Is there enough there? That's, it's not, the police was 143,000.
I know the selectmen is not just the selectmen, it's like through 4 or 5 different lines.
police or select?
Take it out of one, don't split it up, because it makes it.
So it's gotta reduce.
Take it out of this.
Okay, so I think we said, just to make sure, no, motion.
Or can we move the TIF budget first, please?
I don't care what you do.
So, I make a motion to approve the fiscal year 26 Main Street TIF District revenues and expenses at $403,569.
Mike makes the first, I have a second.
I'll second.
Yeah, second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Dan? Lucinda? Yeah. Lori, yes. Tom?
Yes.
Patty? Yes. Okay.
As well.
So Jason, the money that we took out of the TIF police line, you added back into,
I added, I put it on the, I added it back into the cut sheet right here.
So it's 61, 215, 331.
That's for your motion, but let me, I'll be,
It goes back in as a positive.
yeah, so take a look at this, all these other things are cuts.
Yep.
That's a positive, it's the wrong direction.
Okay.
thank you.
Go back here, and we would move this number, and it ties out from a revenue standpoint. 61,215 with taxes at 42,210, and on the mill right taxes at 61,215, taxes 42,210.
Thank you, Jason.
so we can see what they're, so it goes up to 15, 25,000. 37, 35 a month. All right, does anybody want to make a motion on this, new operating of 61, 215? Bid 31?
I make the motion to move forward the operating budget of 61,900,000 with a 2-year phase-in.
Lori, I'll second it. Any other discussion? Mike?
No.
Dan?
Yes.
Lucinda?
Yes.
Lori, yes. Tom?
Yes.
Patty? Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Anything else you have to do? Well, I mean with this.
So do we have to say we have to send it to the selectmen for the referendum or the plan? No. That will be the budget.
We've got public input, 7.
But I just wanted to make sure everybody's all set with this budget stuff. All right. Public input? Go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin Knapp, 6 West Street. Earlier, when I was at this budget meeting, you guys passed, or tried to pass, an independent efficiency study for $50,000, so I took it upon myself to do it for free for the town, because the town didn't have any money. So in reference to the police department, the police have 22 police officers per 10,000 residents. Coventry, who has the same population with 4 times the landmass, has 13 cops per 10,000 residents. They have way better crime stats, way better quality of living, and their operating budget is $49 million a year with the same residents and way less of this corrupt behavior and unethical behavior. I also want to mention that everything that you guys presented today is false, because there's no way that this town only gives away $5,607 in exemptions. The town of Ellington gave $5 million in exemptions to 30 veterans. I have the list in my possession of over 500 veterans that live in this town. So if you do the math, Jason's good at math, that means you're giving each veteran in town $10.99 in exemptions. The minimum exemption for a veteran is $1. Minimum. So that means you misrepresented that. 1% versus 100% at the minimum. So, this has all been a fraud. This has all been a sham.
I'm going to interrupt you here. I know you have 2 minutes here, but I need you to stop calling the Board of Finance a fraud here.
Why?
You're misinterpreting the statistics that
I
I
am
shared
not.
with you. Kevin.
I am not. Stop interrupting me, Jason. I don't give a shit what you say. Stop interrupting me. Can I have my 2 minutes back?
Not when you're accusing this board.
I have all the
of
proof.
frauds and all
I
that.
have all the proof.
You
Stop
have
it.
proof of the amount of exemptions
Right.
that were given to veterans.
Right, and I have proof that John Creed, and in the fucking minutes, that you guys admitted to doing veteran exemptions wrong.
Hey,
Don't be
He's interrupting me. I'm talking.
because you're false.
Watch this, Jason. Watch this, Jason. You're censoring me. You're censoring me.
You knock it off.
He interrupted me. Fuck you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Mike? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
248, come down to the town hall. 248.
You just insulted me. You just insulted me.
Stop. Stop.
I'm sick of you intimidating people.
I want him
Can you sit
arrested.
down,
He
please,
hit me in
sir?
the face. I want him arrested.
If I hit you in the face, dude,
I
you'd
want
be
him
on the
arrested.
ground.
I want him arrested.
Can
I
you
want
sit
him
down?
arrested.
Sit down.
Bullshit.
I want him arrested.
You
I
called me
want
one
him
more
arrested.
time.
Kevin,
I want him arrested.
Kevin, please.
I want him arrested.
Fine.
I'm going to
Okay.
the PD right now.
Okay.
Mark?
On over to Town Hall. 240, you want to head there as well?
248, we're all set. Kevin, if you want to make a complaint, you can make one with
You
me.
should fucking arrest me! He assaulted me!
No, you're not. You haven't been assaulted.
You know what assault is?
Yes,
He touched my face, sir!
That's not an assault.
That's not an assault!
Touching somebody is not an assault, Kevin.
That's not an assault!
We can have a discussion if you'd like, but I'm not going to have you scream at me. Right, but that's not an assault.
I'm talking. He is a town
Yes,
employee.
I understand.
And he made advances on my position and put his face on my face.
I understand, but
And you guys
that is
did
not an
nothing.
assault. I just stepped in between you two
Yeah, but
to separate you.
But I got arrested arrested at the carnival,
I know,
officer,
I understand.
For nothing.
I understand.
This gentleman just got in my face.
I know,
as a
Kevin.
but what's happening?
What's happening is there's a lot of tempers flaring right now.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does. Context matters, Kevin.
It does matter.
It does. Context absolutely matters.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
That is unethical behavior by Town Charter 407. That is also, I'm disabled. It's ADA violations. Title II ADA. There's supposed to be reasonable accommodations made for you. That's not reasonable.
Okay, I had no idea that you were disabled.
I'm 100% disabled.
I had no idea about that.
100%.
Okay, I understand.
Permanently and total disabled. Combat veteran.
Okay.
He just got in my face and pushed me backwards.
Yes.
He pushed me backwards. That is assault.
You guys got in each other's faces.
No, he didn't. I stood up. He got off his seat.
I understand that he approached you.
Came off of the podium and advanced my position.
Okay.
I'm telling you that is assault. I was a cop in the Army for 8 years.
Okay.
I'm telling you that is assault.
Well,
so he needs to be arrested, or I'm going to the police office. I'm going to the police.
Well, you have a police officer right here.
But you're
Kevin.
not doing anything. So I'm going to go there.
I'm talking to you.
He needs to be arrested.
Okay.
Period.
All right.
He assaulted me.
Okay. That's not an assault. It's not. According to the Connecticut General Statute.
Threatening. He made a threatening advance towards me.
All right.
That's threatening.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
That's not threatening?
No, that's not threatening. When two people just come towards each other, it's just not. It's not.
Backwards. He was walking to me like, I don't want to do it to you.
I understand. I understand.
Come here. This is what he did to me. Stand there. He did this.
That's exactly what
He did this. He moved me from my position.
Okay.
That's assault. I'm going to the PD right now.
Okay.
And you're going to go arrest him at his house.
What's that?
You're going to arrest him at his house.
Okay.
You don't understand.
248. I'll give you a call. 63. Kevin is headed towards the police department to make a complaint.
Can you repeat that?
Kevin is leaving the building. He's headed to the police department to make a complaint. He didn't want to make one with me. I'll call 63. Yeah, 10-4. Kevin, can I watch your video?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that was you.
Coventry, who has the same population with 4 times.
Mark Whitten came off the desk and attacked me.
For 10,000 residents. They have way better crime stats.
They interrupted my public input and attacked me.
And their operating budget is $49 million a year with the same residents and way less of
This town has been fucking with me for nonstop, and I'm tired of it.
Kevin, we're listening to you.
I know, but you watched him physically attack me.
I was in the back of the room. I came forward and I separated.
You should have tackled his ass to the ground and arrested him.
No, I'm not
He
gonna-
came up. Watch this video, sir.
We're watching it. Can we just get to the part where... Yeah. Can we just get to that point?
This board, the amount of exemptions that were given to veterans.
Right, and I have proof that John Creed, and in a fucking minute, that you guys admitted to doing veterans.
I'm supposed to have public input. He's interrupting me.
I got you. All right.
Because you're false.
Watch this, Jason. Watch this, Jason. You're censoring me. You're censoring me. You knocked it off. He interrupted me. You lost it. Fuck you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Mike?
So you advanced towards him as well.
Watch. He pushed me backwards. I didn't push him. He advanced me. His face pushed my face and he pushed me backwards. It's on camera.
All right, we got it. All right, let's go. Who's this guy?
He's the Board of Finance.
What's his name?
Mark Whitten. I want him arrested.
Is Gus coming down here?
I don't think so, Gus.
So we're gonna talk to this guy and see.
Yeah.
All right. You gonna, Cap, do me a favor, just staying out here.
Yeah.
45 along here.
You got up. So you got up.
4574.
I'm still hot. I'm just in covert. Hey. All right. Well, we're working it out. Kevin's really heated. He, what's his name? What's this guy's name?
Kevin Knapp?
No, the guy that was in.
I don't know the Board of Finance guy.
The Board of Finance. So Kevin, no, not Jason. Witten, yeah. Yes. Okay. And the chief's calling him. So somebody called the chief.
So is he coming down here?
I don't know. He just hung up on.
We should leave it in his hands.
Yeah.
Because realistically, I mean.
It's a town employee.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Mark shouldn't have gotten up, but Kevin also approached him. They kind of met in the middle.
Yeah, they met in the middle, and it's kind of.
And they just chest bumping. He wants an assault. I tried to explain to him, and I said, this is not an assault. It's a disorderly.
Right.
At the most, so.
Right, which still fits the bill.
I mean, they're in the middle of their meeting, so.
We gotta. Whatever Gus wants to do, because again, it's a town employee.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make it.
I mean, he's not gonna, that's gonna be all over Facebook and.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, he's got the right. Just hopefully he comes here. Hopefully, did he say he's coming here?
No, he just said, I gotta go, the chief's calling me. Just let Kevin yell. What's that? No. I should have tackled him to the ground.
No, you can't do that in a public.
Yeah.
There's certain standards there, just like uphold to. What's this dude's name? I know that's
fuck.
First time I've heard.
Well, Witten? Is he a Witten? Mark, is it Mark Witten?
So I'm gonna go talk to Kevin. You just kind of tell him what's going on.
Oops. Yeah. Lamson already tried to call me. Gus tried to. I had my phone off. Yeah. I don't know. Hey, Kevin? Hey. Hey, we're trying to work this out. I just wanted to give you an update. So according to like our contract in our union, it involves a town official, so I have to get my supervisors involved. Perfect. So I talked to my sergeant, he's talking to our chief right now. Okay. So we're just waiting on that. I just wanted to give you an update.
So he's getting arrested, right?
Like I said.
Why do you have your body camera on in there?
I do have my body cam on.
Why is it not on?
It's in covert mode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was on?
It was recording the entire time,
okay.
Yes.
We're just giving you an update. We're gonna wait for him, and then once it comes out, we're gonna talk to him. But with the video being said, him being an elected official in this capacity, realistically shouldn't have acted like that.
Yeah. So I should have punched him in the fucking face.
No.
No.
I could have, because he threatened.
But you also kind of approached him too. It's kind of like a neutral thing.
I stopped this far away, and he engaged me.
But then you walked toward him.
You did walk towards him.
You walked toward him.
Yeah, it's in the
But
video.
here's the thing. He shouldn't have.
But he shouldn't. No.
For that code, 100%. You're 100% right. He shouldn't.
Nobody's
And he should never interrupt me during public input either. I've done this every single time. I'm suing this town and the Board of Finance for this.
I have active complaints. What happened to me at the carnival that I still don't have recordings for?
40 and 45 when you're clear there. Make your way towards town hall. 240, got it.
Hey, did you just try to call me? Yep. Okay.
The fact that he's
Yeah, we're trying. I think, yeah, Jim's pulling in right now, so. Yeah, yep. All right, thanks, bye.
This is America. I served in Iraq in 2004 for democracy, not for this. I was here the whole time.
Hey, I'm on in covert mode. I've been on the entire thing. So they had voted on the budget. Finally got approved. They reopen it to public comments at the end. Kevin is giving his public comments. He's calling them a fraud.
Yeah.
Jason took
Offense. Yeah, I
offense to
heard
that. Jason told them to stop. Kevin got very upset, started swearing, and then who's the other guy's name? Witten got up from his chair.
I saw that. That's
Oh,
when we
were you
started.
watching it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when we started.
And
coming
then,
this way.
yeah. So, and then Kevin took a couple steps towards him too, right? You know,
Yep.
Levitt. Is it Levitt? Why do I keep saying? Was it guy's name? No, the
Jason
other.
Latham.
Was it?
Latham.
Latham.
The guy that was.
Yeah. So he's coming towards Kevin, and then Kevin took a couple steps, and then he's saying that he kind of hit his face.
Yeah, I'll be right with you.
Kind of hit his face, you know. So he wants him arrested for assault.
Who hit whose face?
The board of finance guy kind of got in his face, and he says that his nose hit his nose, like.
So he's saying the other guy's nose hit his.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then he wants him arrested for assault, and I said it's really not assault. You're not injured. It's.
I think it would be both.
Disorderly.
Both for disorderly, if anything. So.
Yeah.
I say we don't take action tonight. We can take statements if needed, and then determine the best course of action.
All right. I mean, this is a public official. Is this something that I would handle at a patrol level?
Well, we could at least take the statements.
Yeah. All right. If he wants to give a written statement. Okay.
So.
All right.
All right. Give me a minute.
Yep.
Alright, so should we go talk to this guy to deal with this meeting, just come down to the station?
Yeah.
And then kind of,
Yep. Kevin, are you willing to give a written statement?
I just provide the video.
You just provide the video? That's what you'd rather do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I can email it to you guys.
You can edit it, whatever you want. Just bring it down to that part where you walked up for the public comment to where I stepped in and you walked out of the, to where you walked out.
So you want me to email it to Sergeant Gustafson, that link?
Yeah.
I'll post it on YouTube and I'll put it right up there and I'll send
That's
it to
fine. That's fine.
And he's going to get arrested?
Again, that's not my call because it's a public official. I don't handle it if it's a public official, just like I wouldn't handle it if it was another police officer. I'd have to give it to a supervisor. Understood?
Okay, so the supervisor's here though. So.
He is. So, and he's on the phone right now with his boss.
Did that cat go in?
So,
They just kicked me
the
off.
chief has been informed and is involved as well.
Yeah, 240, I knew you were heading somewhere else, so I entered the information.
Yeah. Thank you. You okay?
I mean, not really.
Did you get hurt?
No, but it's just... Mark Witten.
Witten. It is Witten. Mark
Witten.
Mark Witten.
Yep.
Do you need an ambulance?
No.
Okay. Just got to ask, my friend. $248 to H. Could I get a CFS number for down here?
It'd be like the Sergeant Fahey thing, like the Long Island audit. It would be great. Patterns of misconduct from this town. And is it possible to get a restraining order on him?
That's something that's civil.
Okay.
You'd have to go to 80 Washington Street in Hartford and apply for that. I'm going to get you a case number, okay?
Great. So I'll just go down there and bring them that, and then they can do their stuff.
Oh, do you have your key as well?
You got all of your personal belongings from in there? Okay.
Oh, no, we're good. Thank you.
Hey.
Nice to meet you in person, finally.
Yeah.
Sorry about that link. I don't know why it didn't work.
I understand. Sometimes it's, I think
Were
it
you able
coded
to-
it. It codes it as.
Can I get your name?
Kevin. I'm his son.
Kevin?
Kevin Knapp. Yeah,
Oh, you're also Kevin? Okay.
Basically same name.
Gotcha. Is it with 2 P's at the end or 1 P?
Yes.
Okay.
So it either has to be transferred.
And do you live in the same address?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. What's your date of birth?
April 17th, 2007.
4/17/07?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
We'll wait till the body camera footage is done. Okay. And then put it all on the same thing. But as far as what happened here tonight, would you like to give us a written statement?
Yeah,
or-
I'm going to send the video.
He says he'd only like to give the video.
Send the video, so then I don't have to do a statement. Everything that's.
248. I'm not sure if you got it. Could I get a CFS number for disturbance down here at the town hall?
Sorry, you got a 911. 248, it's going to be 11485, 11485.
I'll just load it onto YouTube, and then I'll send you the link, and it will be.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. And then, we'll be in touch tomorrow or something to figure out what action needs to be taken.
Well, he's not getting arrested now.
Probably not, no. I want to gather all the information. I want to take.
You want me to show you the video?
You can, yeah, but I'd want to talk to people that were in there too.
Let's go. We're gonna
close 15.
No, Kev, I don't want you to. We're gonna.
No, I'm going to the state police.
All right.
You guys think this is funny?
Do you want the case number, Kevin?
No, listen to me. I was assaulted, and nobody's being arrested. I was arrested at the carnival for doing nothing.
I didn't say nothing's gonna happen.
He's still
I
here.
said I want to talk to everybody inside.
I can show you the video. What's more evidence than a video? Sergeant, listen.
It's fine if you don't agree with me, but I would like.
I mean,
would
agree
like-
with what? It's black and white. There's no other evidence
Send
needed.
me the video.
I want him arrested now. He saw it. You can get a statement from this officer. You can get a statement from every single person in there. There's other people that recorded it. There's so many witnesses to
That's why
you
I
guys
wanna-
doing stuff.
that's why I
and
wanna
he's
talk
going to
to
go home safe, but I got arrested at the carnival for doing nothing.
So I wasn't around for the.
I understand that, but I'm telling you what happened. I also had Sergeant Lamson and Detective Resto harass me and follow me into Hartford at the veterans hearing with no jurisdiction, no probable cause, and it was from the same guy that called the chief, Jason Lathrop. I have the text messages. I have the text messages from Sergeant Lamson to Lieutenant Kimball at the Capitol Police with my pistol permit information, with my Facebook posts, with everything. I have everything on you guys.
I mean, would you agree? You and I haven't had any negative.
No, but now we
interaction?
do because you're not arresting this guy for assault.
I would like to still work with you, Kevin, if you're willing to.
Okay, then arrest him and take him out of here.
I'm not going to arrest him right
Okay,
now.
then. Perfect. I'm going to the state police.
I'm working day shift tomorrow. If you want to come talk to me, come talk to me. Okay. Have a good night.
You too.
I'm going to show them that video, and then the state police will arrest Mark Witt.
Okay. Have a good night. Hey, how are you? Good, you too.
This is going to get real bad in about 10 minutes online.
Okay. Kevin, I'd like to work with you here.
Yeah, arrest him.
I can't just go arrest him because you say so.
Were you watching it? Oh, it's fantastic. Were you watching it online? Is that what
I wasn't
happened?
watching the whole night, but that part I did.
Okay.
I happened to be on the last. After I texted you saying what's going,
Yeah.
I was hoping you were actually clear. I didn't
Yeah.
know what was still going on.
Good night,
Good night.
gentlemen. Good night.
I would say we're done.